Every college basketball team's season ends.
Let's go, Larry. Let's go.
Only one ends happily. In March 2016, the Michigan State Spartans were riding high. Best start in program history, Big Ten tournament champions, a 2-seed in the NCAA tournament with plans to return to the Final Four in Houston.
He who is disciplined enough to take care of the task at hand is the ones that move on.
Hey, this is what we've been talking about all year, dogs. Let's go. Daddy, on 3, 1, 2, 3. Daddy!
Then came the sharpshooting Blue Raiders of Middle Tennessee.
Tennessee, a 15 seed, is going to take down the Michigan State Spartans.
An upset. Back to square one.
Yo, your thought is, this could be a shooter. Could be a shooter. So your thought is you're going to stunt this and still be able to get back to the shooter. So you're going to stunt, then throw him right back, help, and then to the shooter. All right? That's so nice.
I hear everybody who's been somebody in sports. You know, there's a question asked after they're done or they retire, pro guys, college guys, you know, what was the toughest loss? What was the most exciting win? And every loss is tough. But that loss, I thought we had a legitimate chance to get to a Final Four. I didn't like the guys I coached. I loved the guys I coached. I felt like they were as focused and everything. And so it made me kind of rethink, why did it happen? What happened? And I still haven't come up with a good reason, except the other team played well. But it's forever ending. Keep turning over stones until I figure it out.
After losing 4 of the team's starters to the NBA, including the AP Player of the Year, Michigan State used the month of November to prime its highly touted freshman class and adjust to an injured roster. Described as one of the hardest schedules in college basketball history, the Spartans traveled just under 14,000 miles in 22 days, playing 8 games, half against top 10 opponents.
Well, Michigan State is younger and smaller than they've been in past years. They do not have big guys. Ben Carter, who transferred in from UNLV, is injured, as is Gavin Schilling. But this is a very, very talented freshman class. The number 3 freshman class in the country behind Duke and Kentucky. And spectacular talent. Nair for 3. Got it! What a bounce for Tum Tum Nair!
Nobody on our team had ever done a schedule like that, including me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a 5th-year senior. I've never had a preseason play like that where we traveled that much and played against that type of competition. But it was definitely cool to do, and you know, can't take anything back, but it was definitely something to learn from.
Richards with a crossover and a finish.
That's big time. That's going to bring a smile to Phil Jackson's face, man.
Lost the handle on it. Right to Harris. The big fella ward up the other end of the floor to stuff it in. And a foul. The swing for Langford. He's the open shooter for 3.
Big time shot. Hadn't made shots.
1-point game. Winston. Got it! A triple.
There you go for the freshman. He's played really well.
I think we got better as each game went on. We turned the ball over a lot in the first game of the season, and then we harped on that. And then I think the last couple of games of the season so far, we've done a better job of taking care of the ball. And I think we came together even more and more. You know, we lost 2 guys, and then Miles got hurt. So I think it helped us to come together more, just losing some of our key guys.
It's not just my 4 freshmen. It's Aaron Harris has a different role. Matt McQuaid, you know, missed all summer, and Kenny Goins, and now they have different roles. I'd say the only guy that's in the same position as he was a year and 2 years ago was Tom. It's made it a little more difficult, and then, you know, when you didn't have some of those guys in the summer, it made it harder, and then when you lost the 2 bigs and Miles, it's made it a lot harder.
As the Breslin Center, home of the Spartans, undergoes a $50 million renovation, so too does the young Spartan roster. And if the team has any chance of making amends to last year's tournament run, they'll need to build fast and smart. A task few coaches in the country would envy. Tom Izzo was born to coach. It's his life's work and what he's known for. In just over 3 decades, he's only had one other head coaching job at Ishpeming High School in 1977. After just one season, he became an assistant at Northern Michigan, where he would remain until moving to East Lansing in 1983.
You know, I loved all sports. I mean, I played football, basketball, baseball, track. I did a little wrestling. I mean, if you name it, if there was a sport out there, I love sports. My father raised me that way. It wasn't the end-all, means-all. I grew up in a family that, because my dad owned his own business and grandfather and uncles, all the grandchildren worked there, and we started working at an early age. And so the work ethic thing was something I was ingrained in, and sports was something I was shown. It probably started in college, where Mariucci and I would sit around our apartment and talk about our dreams and our goals and all the things we wanted to achieve. And we never dreamed. We talked about getting to Notre Dame because Notre Dame football was on in the UP all the time before TV was as big. I hate to date myself, but it was true, and that was what was always on Sunday mornings, the replay of the Notre Dame game. And so we laughed about someday getting to Notre Dame, not even ever been there, not knowing much about it. Done with school, we both had degrees in education. What are we gonna do now? And so I applied for a couple teaching jobs and got a couple of them. I said, can I really do this at 22 years old? Can I sit in a room, you know? So we decided that neither one of us could do that right now. So the cop-out was we'd go back to school, work on our masters. Then I became a high school coach. I was a GA in basketball, but a high school job opened. My coach there thought, hey, this would be a great experience for you to be a head coach at a varsity level.
He was an assistant coach at Northern Michigan, and he came in and said that he would like to be part of the staff if anything opened up. I told him, hey, Tom, I said, I can't even consider you because I have no opening. And then he came down the next year, and the next year he had a broken jaw. So he's, well, I'd like to be part of the team, you know, and I had to tell him again, nothing. Then the third year we had an opening, and so I offered him the job, and it was just a graduate assistant's job, but he took it. And he struggled financially for a number of years, and then when he finally got an assistant's job at Tulsa, he didn't want to go, and we pushed him out. We said, hey, you have to go, you're not making any money, and so on. And then Mike Dean left for Siena, an opening came, and so we hired him back.
Well, the process happened. I was working for Judd, and he did so much for me. I mean, you know, I wouldn't be here without him. I mean, my dad, Mariucci, those guys all were a big part of my growth. But I can't say as far as my job now, anybody was a bigger part of my growth than Judd Heathcote. What I loved about him, what he taught me, is how to deal with the media. It was a major thing he taught me. You know, how to respect other people's jobs. And maybe the biggest thing, he never asked me to do something he wouldn't do himself.
It is apparent now that Tom Izzo will be hoping I die in the handball court. But on behalf of our basketball staff, I would like to thank the administration for the confidence that they have shown, not only in me, but in Tom and the program. I pushed hard for Tom to get the job. I felt that he had earned the chance to be the head coach. He improved every year that he was there. And you know, they talk about coaching the team, and there's more to coaching than just the team. I remember when I moved from Montana to Michigan State, they asked me, what's the difference in the coaching? I said, no difference in the coaching, just difference in the demands on my time.
You know, some things that a lot of assistants never get to do is work for someone who's won a national championship. And I almost feel like the 1980 Olympics, that dreams can come true. And because if you don't think that this is the biggest dream, the biggest goal of a small town boy making what I consider big, you're kidding yourself.
I still think I'm an assistant in a lot of ways because I don't really want to change. I mean, Judd could laugh at himself. Judd wouldn't ask me to do things that he wouldn't do himself. I just love that about him, and I think that's helped me learn how to handle the pressures and the situations in these jobs and grow from them, and I think I've grown from them, still with his help.
I used to kid, you know, when I introduced Tom, here's a coach that never saw a parade, you know, make fun of his stature, but he's bigger than any comment I could make.
Growing up in Iron Mountain, Michigan, Tom Izzo would become best friends. He would become best friends with Steve Mariucci. The two would play high school basketball and football together and attend Northern Michigan, rooming together for 7 years. First in the dorms, and then later in a trailer they shared when they each broke into coaching as assistants. Iron Mountain is also where the lifelong buddies made a bet to see which aspiring coach might land the dream job and be the first to be hired by the University of Notre Dame. To date, neither has entered contract negotiations with the Fighting Irish. But Steve Mariucci did go on to become the youngest ever head coach of the NFL's San Francisco 49ers, and his pal Tom Izzo has become the all-time winningest basketball coach at Michigan State University and a Hall of Famer.
In September, after over 30 years of coaching, Tom Izzo was inducted into the prestigious Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, a testament of more than just his success on the court.
When you have somebody that's worked for you and you follow his success, and then his success goes even further than you envisioned it could, you're very, very proud, and that's how I felt.
When you get in a Hall of Fame, it's not something that happened on that day, it's something that happened over his life. And Tom is an amazing driver, amazing leader, well deserving of that honor, but he would be the first to recognize that every individual in this department, every student athlete that competed, every person on this campus, whether they're faculty members, president, board of trustees, owns a little bit of that jacket.
Every player that's played for him just love him to death because he stays with you. Whether you make it to the NBA or not, you have a friend for life and a coach for life. And that's why the program gets so much support from former players.
Every once in a while you have to go into losing locker rooms and watch him gather himself up from his own anguish about losing and watch him in many ways take his team and move them from this moment of despair into how to learn from that as an individual, how to learn from that as a basketball team, and how to take that not simply to the next game, but to life. That capacity to gather yourself up, even though you're feeling this kind of emotion yourself, and focus all of your positive passion and energy on others is something Tom does just extraordinarily well, and probably isn't the reason he got a Hall of Fame award, but is one of the reasons he's a Hall of Famer in my eyes.
Most importantly, he really cares. You know, he cares about the individuals that he coached, more so as people than even players. You don't meet people like Coach Izzo every single day, and I think that's one of those relationships that you have to cherish because it's one of those things that will last for the rest of my life.
Tom is one of the great coaches in the history of college basketball. It's not just knowing the game, it's the development of the relationships with your team, with your group, that allows you to be a championship contender. And his teams are championship contenders every year as a result of that.
Tom, I think, has taken the program a step up and has kept it there. It's one of the recognized top programs in the country now year after year. And having gone to, 19 straight NCAAs is proof that how far the program has escalated.
We made some promises, Michigan State, we answered the promises. We'll see you tomorrow back home.
I look at my own career and winning the national championship in the third year, and I thought that's not that big a deal. You know, we'll get back there again. Well, never made it back to a Final Four. I look at my mentor, Marv Harshman at Washington State, who is also in the Hall of Fame, never made it to the Final Four. I look at Gene Cady, who is one of my really dear coaching friends, never made it to the Final Four. And Tom's been there 7 times. That's just an unbelievable stat, you know. It's almost hard for me to comprehend that some of the teams that weren't great, he got them to the Final Four. It's a tribute to his coaching, and I think his ability to have a club improve at tournament time.
We don't make it easy, but we're going to the Final Four!
You know, I could say it's in my blood. I could say that somewhere through all the frustrating parts of it, which there are many, I love what I do. And I have passion for what I do. And it's important what I do. And probably the most important thing coming from where I came from, you know, it's kind of the opposite of a lot of the players I recruit. You recruit a lot of inner city minority players, and I lived in the UP and Lily White America, you know. But I didn't have a silver spoon. I didn't have everything given to me. My dad worked a lot of hours, 6, 7 days a week. You know, nothing was easy for our family. And so I have an appreciation, even though some of these kids I recruit think I live in a nice house, I drive a nice car, this is the way his life's been. It's not the way my life's been. I had to, I say it a million times, I have a chance to live my dream. Well, they have the same dreams. And I get the chance to help them live theirs. That's what drives me now. And so it can seem sappy or corny, but it's real. And that's what keeps me going. The chance of Tom Izzo coming from Iron Mountain, Michigan, and being the head coach at Michigan State and having the great things that have happened to me are probably almost as slim as the chance of a good player, you know, being good enough to win national championships and be an NBA player. And so I feel like I'm in this with them.
The end of a 5-game homestand, and in comes Oakland. A lot of times you'd say, well, it's a good tune-up here. We're getting ready for Big Ten play coming up. Well, this is just a big game in general, because this game is about getting back on track, and this game is as important of a game as we might play all season. It's over to Harris, jump shot way out good, a long 2. That's the first 2 for Harris, and we're tied at 9.
Cassius Winston running, finding Ellis. Got it. McQuaid, he's a shooter, can't get a look there. Back to that well, double digits, 10 points for one. So all of a sudden, the Spartans have expanded this to a 7-point lead. There's a block by Ellis, so he's doing it on both ends.
Cassius going to the elbow, cut off in the wing. Langford wide open for a 3-ball. He got it. He's got 5.
5 seconds. Braylon kneeling. Wow, with a step back.
Winston wide open for a 3-ball. He got it. He was out front, a step back 3.
Here's a 3 for Kyle Arns, and he hits from the corner in front of his own bench.
With the ball is Dorsey Walker making a move. What a block that time by Ward. He went up, and Ward went up higher.
Inside, Hayes. Double team comes, McQuaid strips it. Correction, back to 11 as Ellis hits. The freshman Winston with a lob. The second time, Nick Ward able to knock it down.
We got a final from East Lansing, and we got a win heading into Big Ten play.
The Spartans' relentless preseason schedule against opponents like Kentucky and Duke forced them to grow. But if they have any chance making a run for a championship, they'll first have to prove themselves in the Big Ten.
There's a lot of new guys, a lot of young guys at that. And being a junior, it's hard because, you know, they've never played in an environment like this. They never played for games as big as every game is in the Big Ten or the non-conference schedule. So intensity has to pick up, attention to detail has to pick up.
It's going to be a dogfight every single game. It doesn't matter. You got to do the little things that it takes to win, and this is what winners do. And we got a lot of young guys, but we have a talented team and we can win. So it's going to be mental for us.
I'm very excited about the Big Ten, but I'm really excited now about each day. So as they say, which becomes cliche with coaches, I'm taking it one game at a time. I'm erasing that. I'm taking it one day at a time.
Cliche or not, whether it's one game or one day, the Spartans' Big Ten journey begins tomorrow.